That's fun. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, but that brings me back to the anti-Edom thing, because remember the anti-Edom prophecies is like Judaism. It's about destroying Western civilization. It's about destroying Europe and America. That has to happen before they can have their messianic age. Don't you think that's important? We're trying to save the West. We're trying to expose the globalists, expose the anti-Christians.
See, here's the thing. You talk about this stuff, and this is your issues. I don't talk about the Temple of Edom. I don't cover Jewish issues 24/7. I cover American issues. So I can't comment on the Temple of Edom. You told me that they would be building a third temple. Has that been done? I don't know. What are you saying that Israel is destroying Europe and the West with immigration?
That's what the plan is. That's a threat. That's what they want. That's the point I'm trying to make. And here's the other thing. So even if you guys are now critical of Israel, I still see you guys as Jewish, as all Christians, because Jones is promoting the God of Israel. The Bible is real. Jesus is the Jewish Messiah. Even if it's some anti-Jewish dialectic, it's still promoting Jewish religions. You agree with that? Like, do you believe the Jews were ever chosen, that Jesus was a Jew? Like,
well, I look at it differently. I think that Jesus stood up to Jewish power and told the people in that time, in that age, that no, they are not the chosen people. This is God's new covenant. You're all the chosen people. And of course, the Jews took that personally and as a threat to their power. So they killed him. Now, whether you think that is a historical, accurate depiction of events or not, is your own thing. I don't do Bible beating. I don't do theology big on my show. It's not a big shtick of mine. I was raised Christian, Catholic by my family, by my parents, multi-generations. I'm going to respect that. I do believe in God. I do believe that Christianity is a good moral guideline. And I do believe that the Bible does have a historical significance. But, as far as this, religious doctrine and who's right and who's wrong, I don't really get into that. I don't like debating that, because you're never going to change people's minds. Now, if you want to sit here and say, are you open-minded to consider that religion is used as a psyop to control the world? Yeah, sure. I'm open-minded into having that debate.
Can we? You were going to debate Greg Locke. Didn't he bail out of that, though? You were supposed to debate him, and you did push back on him.
I was going to moderate the debate between Greg Locke and Pastor Joel Webbin. And look, I'm the kind of guy, and you're probably the same way, I would imagine, that we can have political disagreements, but at the end of the day, hey, look, meet a guy, look him in the eye, shake his hand, and just recognize that's flesh and bone, and that we're all going to have to figure out how to live and let live on this planet, or we're all going to die. So I met Greg Locke. I have no personal problems with Greg Locke. I don't like his policies when it comes to Israel and his Christian church. I don't like that. And I had no problem standing up to him on air. But I shook his hand, he looked me in the eye, and he said that he would do a debate about it, not with me, but with another pastor. So I took him for his word. I got the debate organized. I was waiting to confirm a date, and then eventually his people told me he can't do it anymore. And the excuse that I was given was because I made a meme about Elmo. I guess when Elmo's account got hacked or whatever that was, I made a meme about Elmo that I just thought was funny, because I've been doing that.
Visiting the wall. Is that what the meme was?
I'm sure you've seen the Elmo meme. I've been using it for years, where I just put my face on Elmo when he's in the flames.
Right.
I've been using that meme for like 8 years. And so when the Elmo thing happened, I was just like, oh, this is hilarious. I'm going to use this meme. Well, that was his excuse to bail out on the debate. I think, though, aside from that, what I see happening here, and I think that this is why you kind of like to fluff yourself up and puff your chest out, and that's fine. Hey, that's fine. Go ahead. Have your time here. But what I think is that these generations, let's say 40 or over, 50 or over, they've never actually had to debate the Israel issue. They've never actually had to debate the whole Judeo-Christian concept, or the issue of Israel and who the real Jews are and all this other stuff. They've never had to debate it, right? Especially if you're on the right wing. You've never come up against any challenges to your ideology on that.
I've never seen a Christian debate on InfoWars. That's what I was just going to say.
So, well, I tried to make it happen. He bailed out.
Okay, well, have a debate where Jesus is fake and Jewish. If you could, with me, that would be cool. You've had a lot of pastors on. Has there ever been anybody to talk about, InfoWars is talks about conspiracies. I don't see any greater conspiracy than half the world believing that the Jews were chosen and worshiping the God of Israel and bowing down to the King of the Jews and the Jewish Messiah. That's the whole objective in Judaism, is to have all the Goyim.
Jesus.
The Jews that first believed in Jesus were all Jews. It's a Jewish messianic movement. It's just a different sect of Judaism. And the whole purpose of the Messiah.
Christians Ethiopian?
No, they were Jews. Paul, Saul the Pharisee, James,
they were
Peter.
followers of Jesus, but did they consider themselves Christians
Yes.
though?
No, they were Jews. Christians. Christ just means Moshiach. They were just messianic Jews that believed in a mystical Messiah, a cosmic, heavenly Messiah is how the myth developed.
Well, look, I would have no problem moderating that debate if there's somebody that you wanted to face off against.
I just want to talk to you about it. So, because let me just ask you, because I know you got 3 minutes.
But that's like me coming up to you and saying, I want to debate if Mark McGuire is a better batter than Barry Bonds.
I didn't say debate. I just said have a conversation.
Well, you've just had almost an hour with me, so what?
Yeah, but we were talking about Trump stuff. We were talking about Trump stuff.
Hey, it's your show.
Hey, I know how unpopular saying Jesus is fake would be with an InfoWars audience, but that's the problem. All of the right wing, it's a Jesus echo chamber, and nobody's getting any pushback on it, and everybody's worshiping a mythical Jew. And I see, does Israel not have so much? Does Israel not have so much power because of Christianity? Isn't that like one of the biggest reasons for their power?
You're saying because the Jews are protecting the Holy Land from the Arabs or something?
No, just because like Christians around the world believe they're God's chosen people. They live in the Holy Land. Blessed if they bless them, cursed if they curse them. They got to rebuild the temple so the Antichrist comes and Jesus returns. Yeah,
I guess you could say that.
Right. So it's a big issue. If we're going to solve the Israel question, I think we have to address the Jesus question. And that's my invitation to you. I'll be very nice.
Do you think that's a strategy to win?
Yes, I think it's the only path to winning.
So you think telling Christians that Jesus is a Jewish psyop, you think that's going to get them on your side?
I think that's the only way to do it. Yes, the Christian anti-Semitism, turning Christians against Jews for killing God, just discredits us and makes them more powerful, and will never work. And there's all the conspiracies. They're not the real Jews.
You're not going to insult Christians and then get them on your side. So, but you can try.
Well, I do. I have an audience of a lot of former Christians that are on my side and see it. A lot of them have never even heard the other side of the argument. They haven't been exposed to any of the information, and a lot of people honestly kind of already agree, and they thought that they thought about these things on their own. They just haven't like fully connect all the dots. Like I see you saying evolution's debunked, and you do portray yourself as a Christian, but like have you ever had a guest on or read a book like saying that Jesus didn't exist?
Yeah, actually, when I was in college, I was very much an atheist. At one point, I was probably even a nihilist. So I've already gone through all of that. I've already been anti-religion and all of that stuff, and so I get what's behind it. But I don't think. I don't think that if your goal is to, well, I don't even know what your goal is, but if your goal is to somehow unite Christians against the Zionist forces or Israel, and you think insulting.
Not Jesus. Insulting. No, educating, not insulting
them. If you say Jesus doesn't exist, that is insulting them. I don't see that as a good strategy. So
my goal is to oppose the Zionist agenda, which is Judaism, which is the Torah, and Christians don't oppose the Torah. And when Alex Jones says everybody just needs to worship the Messiah together, well, that's the goal of the rabbis that Christians adopted. So that's why I think it's a problem. You can think about it. Hopefully we can be in touch. If you don't want to do it on your show, we can do it on mine again, whatever the politics are over there. But I do appreciate you so much for coming on again. You've always been a cool dude to me. You've been a bro. Everybody knows where to find you, obviously. InfoWars, Owen Shroyer. You got the legend. So it's 11 o'clock. I know you got to go. But again, thanks for coming on and talking. And
all right.
You say bye to us? All right.
Good to talk. I was going to let you finish the sign off. I was going to let you take it all the way.
No, that's good. I was going to. Thanks for coming. And
this is Owen Stroyer for No More News. Be sure to tune in for the next interesting interview.
That's how you do it.